Ubisoft touts subscription services as the future of gaming, says players need to start feeling comfortable with not owning their games. This story comes to us from Spencer Bakuli over at Bounding Into Comics. In offering his support to the dystopian concept of you will own nothing and be happy, Ubisoft Director of Subscriptions Philippe Tremblay has opined that not only is the subscription-based service model an overall boon for the video game industry, but that the main factor standing in its widespread adoption by developers is the fact that players still prefer, quote, having and owning their games. Oh, you horrible people wanting to own things. Golly gosh darn. Tremblay shared his anti-consumer take on the medium's future following the announcement that Ubisoft's own in-house subscription services would be rebranded under a collective banner of Ubisoft Premium Plus Premium. Wow, just throwing everything at it. Ubisoft Plus Premium. Just all the things. As explained by the developer in a January 15th blog post, Ubisoft Plus Multi-Access and PC Access will now be Ubisoft Plus Premium, offering day one new releases and early access where applicable, alongside premium editions, monthly rewards, and more. Ubisoft is also introducing a new offer, Ubisoft Plus Classics on PC, a curated selection of our popular backlog and live games. I don't think of Let's Dance or Just Dance when I think of that, but hey, cool, whatever. Elaborating on the difference between these subscription tiers, Tremblay explained in the same post, premium means day one access to new releases in the same and in some cases, like Prince of Persia, The Lost Crown, early access to upcoming new releases. This is on top of our extensive back catalog, where you'll have access to premium editions, DLC, and monthly rewards. All this is offered on Xbox, PC, and Amazon Luna. And you'll only need to subscribe once to have access to all these games across all of these platforms. Players can subscribe to Ubisoft Plus Premium for a monthly free fee of $17.99. It's not free. Nothing's free. You know that. Quote, alternatively, players can subscribe to Ubisoft Plus Classics, a curated selection of our most popular back catalog games like Far Cry 6, Rainbow Six Siege, and Watch Dogs Legion. This catalog will grow with time, is included for PlayStation Plus Extra and PlayStation Plus Premium members, and is now available on PC through the Ubisoft Store for $7.99 a month. Isn't that neat? Later pressed as to the decisions which led to the business shifting during an interview with GameIndustry.biz's Christopher Dring, the Ubisoft director detailed, quote, we looked at consumer behavior and how people were interacting with our offer, and we saw an opportunity for us to evolve. When we look at how gamers engage with our different games, we see that our back catalog is still very active and alive. So we saw an opportunity to offer these worlds to our consumers for a lower fee. And this is a response to our behavior, to the behavior that we saw from players. So if you're reading between the lines with this quote here, he's saying all the old stuff rocked and the new stuff is real hard to sell. But I want to get down to where he actually gets into this, because he just sells this for a little while. Oh, it's so great. Consumer this, consumer that. All right, crystal ball, can't predict the future. Xbox is really great. However, this is where he gets into it. All right, he says this right here. He says, turning to highlight what he saw the primary roadblock to players signing up for the streaming services in droves, Tremblay opined, quote, one of the things we saw is that gamers are used to, a little bit like DVDs, having their own games. Having and owning their own games. Can you believe that? You horrible people wanting to own things. He goes on and he says this, quote, that's the consumer shift that needs to happen. They got comfortable not owning their CD collection or DVD collection. That's a transformation that's been a bit slower to happen in video games. As gamers grow comfortable in that aspect, you don't lose your progress. If you resume your game at another time, your progress file is still there. That's not been deleted. You don't lose what you've built in the game or your engagement with the game. So it's about feeling comfortable with not owning your games. I still have 2 DVD boxes, Tremblay argued. I definitely understand the gamer's perspective with that. But as people embrace that model, they will see that these games will exist, the service will continue, and you'll be able to access them when you feel like. That's reassuring. It's not. It's really not. As we saw with Amazon earlier this year, they just completely iced out people's access to certain television shows when the licensing ran out. So, what happens when Ubisoft gets into a fight with one of the developers that contributes to them and they can't list certain things on their back catalog or even the new releases that they promised because there's been some hubbub with a strike, even? Here we go, right? This is all about getting in the pod, eating the bugs, owning nothing, and being happy, okay? Feel free to hit like and subscribe. Leave your comments down below about this dystopian nightmare taking place over at Ubisoft. How long do you think it's going to take before they just stop making physical games altogether?